because today we are gonna make a beautiful soup. We're gonna make a delicious soup. And you know what? It's hearty, it's filling, it's delicious, got protein, it's got vegetables, delicious. What we have is we have sausages. Now, I just bought 4, but I'm just gonna broil all of them. So we're gonna cook all 4 sausages, but I'm only gonna keep 2 for this stew. And the other 2 you can keep to, toss in a salad or stir fry with some peppers. So what we're gonna need is half a can of tomatoes. So since I have 3 different colors, I figured I'll put all 3. So we're gonna put 2 celery sticks, and we're gonna put, so now it depends. We're gonna put some rice. Now, if you want the soup to be very soupy and very liquidy, then just put maybe like half a cup. If you want it to be more like a stew, a little more consistent, then you can put 3/4 cup to a cup of rice. Depends how thick you want it. So you be the judge of that. And also what else she used to put in here is zucchini. And I thought, I've done it a million times, her recipe with zucchini, but I thought today, why not give it a try and do something, a little twist. We'll put some okra. I've cooked it before, it's actually delicious. So we'll wash them really well, cut them in half. Just remove that little stem at the end. And that's it. So this is how simple it is. In English, it's called navy beans. So we're just gonna put about half a can, and that's just gonna give it even more protein. So if you want, you put it. If you don't want it, then it'll just be the vegetables with the sausage and the rice. But I always like adding protein to all my meals because this way it's a meal in one. A nice little piece of bread on the side, a nice little garlic piece of bread on the side. Or if you don't want any bread, that's perfectly fine because you already have rice. So there you go. So enough talking, and I'm gonna start showing you exactly what we do. So in here is our turkey broth. My hands are clean, so I'm just gonna show you. These are all the bones from my turkey broth. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna strain this broth and I'm gonna put it in a pot, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna put everything together in just a minute. In the meantime, we're gonna put these sausages to roast. So at 400 I will put it for 30 minutes, not more. So I'm gonna show you how. I'm gonna wash my hands, roast the sausages, and strain my turkey broth. So we'll be right back. So here we go. I'm just gonna show you what I did is I took my 2 celery sticks and cut them into 3 strips. And then we're just gonna make little tiny pieces. So like, little bite-sized pieces. Actually, in the meantime, what I'm gonna also tell you 2 little tips. What I did is I took my can of tomatoes, Vitali. I love Vitali. It's such a great consistency, nice and thick. So I put half a can in here. And I just want to show you what I do with the other half of the can is I just put it in the Tupperware and I label it and I put it in the freezer. Same thing with the beans. As you can see here, I put 1 cup of beans. It's more than enough for the soup, for the stew. And the other half of the can, same thing. It's going to go in the Tupperware. I'm going to put it in the freezer, label it. And next time you want to make this recipe, you'll have your tomatoes and you'll have your beans already accessible and ready in the freezer. For the okra here, what we did is I decided to only put 10. So not to make, it depends. You might like it. If you don't like it, you put zucchini and it's absolutely delicious. But for the okra, what I did, like I said, is I just cut them in half and took off the little heads. So I only put 10 pieces of okra. I just started this YouTube channel now in February. We're in February, we're in a pandemic. It's a year we're in a pandemic. And I figured, you know what? Restaurants are closed. So people don't go out as much, they don't go out at all because restaurants are closed. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to try making some homemade meals. So here we have all our vegetables. Everything is here. We have our rice. I'm just going to show you everything. So you put this on high, which it is, and we're just going to put in all these vegetables. Actually, I have a cute little gadget that I just bought, which I find extremely helpful. And here it is. This is beautiful. I saw this when I went to the store the other day, and I thought, oh, that could be handy for when I put in all my vegetables. So in here we put the celery, all the 3 colored peppers, half a can of our diced tomatoes that I chopped up myself, or you can buy them diced if you want. And we're gonna put in make sure that when you put your rice, your broth is hot. So we put in our rice. I like to put long grain rice, and I like to put regular rice, not jasmine or not basmati or not wild rice or none of that stuff. When I make this giambotta here, I like it to be just plain long grain rice. Now, I didn't take out the salt for a reason. It's because I wanted to explain to you that when I made my turkey broth yesterday, I already put the salt. So make sure you taste it, because remember, you can always add, but you can never remove. We're gonna we'll start with paprika. So a little bit of paprika, just to give it just a nice color. The tomato will give color, but the paprika will give even more color. I like to put a little bit of granulated garlic, not too much, just a little tad like this. And a little tad of onion powder, since we didn't put any onion, as you notice, no onions in here. And that's all you do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover it, let it simmer, and we're only gonna add the okras in a little while. Actually, what we can put right now too, put our 1 cup of tiny little navy beans. They'll cook in there as well. We're gonna give it a little stir, and we're just gonna let this cook away. And I don't know if you can see inside, but it just has a beautiful color, you see? So be careful when you put rice, don't put too much if you want it to remain like a soup or like a very light stew. So we're gonna cover this up, let it cook. The sausages are almost ready. We'll come back, we'll let this cook 20 minutes, come back, add the sausage, add the okra, and I'll show you the rest. So we're back, and now we're just gonna put everything together, like the last couple of ingredients, which is the sausage. So what we did here is we sliced up, I don't know if you can see it, we sliced up our sausage. I ended up putting 3 sausages because I figured, why not? There's rice, there's sausage, it'll end up being like a full meal after all. So we'll put our sausage and we'll put in the okra. Once you put the okra in to cook in the last 5 minutes with the seasonings that we just put in, which is basil, oregano, a little bit of thyme, a little bit of marjoram, and you put in your sausages, 5 minutes. So here we go. Look. Do you see how it's nice and thick? Do you see it? Now it's just gonna thicken up even more because it's rice, and rice always absorbs liquid. So if you want to eat it this way, it's perfect as a soup. If you want to wait maybe an hour or so, it'll be perfect as a stew. And there you have it. Look how beautiful that giambotta is ready. And it looks exactly like my mother-in-law's. You see all the pieces, the nice pieces of sausage and all the vegetables. The okra is there and it's looking beautiful. You let it cook, and as you can see, you can eat it now. It's more liquidy, so it's like a soup. If you let it sit there for an hour or so, which is what we're gonna do, it's gonna be like a stew. This is delicious. This brings me back 20 years when I used to be at my mother-in-law's house and she used to make this giambotta. It tastes exactly like hers. So on a beautiful winter day like this, nothing better than a nice home cooked meal. And there you have it. Enjoy.